I hope now you can hear. Okay, so I will just give intro on one more time. So we are bigdatahandson.com. Our website is bigdatahandson.com. Uh, if you have any doubts, you can message us in this number 978 and you can send email through this email ID support at bigdatahandson.com. Okay, then actually this day 12 video. So you can see that day 12 we'll see inheritance, polymorphism, method overloading, method overriding, and operator overloading. The previous sessions will be recorded and put in the our YouTube channel bigdatahandson.com. So there you can find all the videos. Okay, so now let's start the today's session. So yesterday we have seen how to create a class, how to create an object, right? Now we'll see the inheritances. So inheritances are nothing but, for example, our dad's properties, the son can use, right? The same way, for example, you are developing a application, okay? So you are going to update the application. So what you will do, you will inherit all the uh, things on the previous versions, and then you will add some other features, right? So you will inherit all the features in the version 1, and then you will add some more features on the version 2, right? So for that purpose we have this inheritance. Okay, for example, let's say we are creating a class A. Okay, class A. Now let's create a function called name inside the class, and it will tell, okay, in A. Okay, I'm in A, like that, in A. Okay, now what we are going to do is, this is a class A now. Okay, this is a version 1 class. Now I'm going to create a version 2 class, that's class B. Okay, now this version 2 have all the features in the version A, right? So I want to inherit the A class, class A. So to inherit a class on the other class, you have to provide the name of the class when you are creating this class, class B. After this class B name, and then put a brackets. Inside the brackets, you have to specify the classes what you want to inherit. So I want to inherit A, so I will put A there. Okay, and then colon, enter. So now this version 2 class have this function called greet. Okay, now I will print good morning, right? So now we are created a version 2 class, okay, that inherits version A. Okay, now I'm going to create an object for B, not A. Okay, I'm creating an object obj equal to B. For B class I'm creating. Now if I put obj dot, then it will show me two functions. Why? Because the B class inheriting the A class, that means all the data members, or you can say variables and methods, you can use in this class using the second class. Okay, so this called a super class and this called a subclass. Okay, or you can say this is a master class, this is the base class, like that. Or you can say this parent class and this is a child class, like that we can say. Okay, now I can call obj.name, and I can call obj.greet. That means I can access the methods in the A class and both the A class and B class. Okay, so this inheritance is called single level inheritance. Okay, we have multiple types of inheritance is there. So this is a single level inheritance. Okay. Okay, so we have seen the simple type of inheritance, single level inheritance. So another type, that is multi-level inheritance. That means multi-level inheritance. For example, I can say your grandfather, your father, and the son. Okay, so like that, the order will come. This is the multi-level inheritance. Multi-level inheritance. So for that, for example, I'm creating a class A. So I will just comment this. Okay, so in this class A we have the same function name, and this says in A. Okay, so I just, okay, name self keyword first in the first position, and then it will say in A, right? And then now we have the second class B, and B inherits A. So now this will become single level inheritance, right? Not in the name function. Let's say greed. Okay, this will say good morning. Okay, and I'm creating another class called class C, and this class inheritance class D. Now listen, the superclass of the C is B B class, right? For and the superclass of B is A class. So it's like inheriting one and then other, like, so it is a chain rule. So that's like multi-level inheritance. Okay, like this grandfather and this the father. So grandfather, sorry, our father inherited grandfather, and now the son inheritance father. Okay. Def in C. Now if I create an object for B, that means we'll having the members of A and B. Okay, if I create an object for C, then see what happens. Obj equal to C. Now if I put obj dot, then it's showing me grade and name and C. So three functions are there. That means this C class, it inherits this both A and B, because it inherits only B, but B inherits A. That means it B class contains the A properties also. Now if I inherit the B class, we're having end up with these two functions, grid and name. Okay, now this is called a multi-level inheritance. If you want to show and run this, you will see both these three functions printed here in A and good morning, and in C, right? These three line printed here. Okay, now this is the multi-level inheritance. Now we'll see the next inheritance type, that is multiple inheritance. Multiple inheritance. because this type of inheritance type is not available in Java. There is a reason, because it is end up with the problem of method overriding. So that's why this type of inheritance is not in the Java. It's in the Python. So it overcomes this problem by a solution like so I will show you that in method overriding. Okay, so first let me create a class for multiple inheritance. uh, I will just copy this because it's the same example, but it will look differently. For example, I'm not going to inherit the B to A. I'm going to inherit C with two classes A and B. Now this will become multiple inheritance. So one base class, sorry, one subclass, two superclass we have. Then that is multiple inheritance. We can say multiple superclass and one subclass. Okay. Now this type of inheritance, why it's not available in the Java, is because for example, this class containing a name function. Now if I change the grade to name, so I'm now I call the obj.name, then which function will call on the A class or the B class? So that's the question here. So that's why Java not has this type of inheritance, but Python has. How it overcomes this? Let's see. If I run this, you will understand what it's doing. Okay, let me comment all these lines. Okay, now let's run this program. So I'm saying obj.name. What comes here? In A. Why the in A comes is because the subclass, the C, inherits the A class in the first version. Okay, the first it is inheriting the A and then it is inheriting the B. Okay, so if I change B comma A, then it will print good morning. If I call the obj.name, see good morning here. So this how it overcomes this problem of method overriding. So now you may have understood the method overriding. What is method overriding? Method overriding is nothing but two functions have the same name that will override one another. Okay, so now if I am inheriting the B in the first position, it overrides the name of the A class. Now it only it overrides the function name of the A class, and then it is printing the good morning. Okay, that's what the overriding is. Okay, now let's see other inheritance type. The next inheritance type is uh, single. Okay, hierarchical. Hierarchical inheritance will be like uh, one superclass and two subclass. This will be hierarchical. Let me copy this. One superclass and multiple subclasses. Here, multiple superclass, one subclass. So here, I will create a one superclass, that is A, and now B inherits A, and C also inherits A. So that means one superclass inherit multiple subclasses. Now that will become hierarchical inheritance. Now if I create an object for B, the B contains the methods in the A and the B. If I create the C class, C for object, if I create an object for C class, then it will contain in the methods in the A class and then the C class. Okay, so the hierarchical inheritance is. And the next one is hybrid inheritance. Hybrid inheritance is nothing but when you combine two different inheritance types. For example, if you combine, uh, for example, single level, let's take the single level inheritance type, and then the multiple inheritance type. If you combine these two inheritance type, that will be an hybrid inheritance. Okay, for example, let's take this example. Okay, now a single level inheritance is class A and class B, right? And we are going to create another class, class D. Okay, class D, right? Now I'm going to create multiple inheritance. So to create multiple inheritance, we need, sorry, this would be C, right? Okay, class C. Now we'll create class D, and this inheritance A and C. Now this will become hybrid inheritance because single level inheritance is there and multiple inheritance also is there. Right. Okay, now if I create an object for B, it contains the methods of A and B, right? And if we create an object for D, then it will contain class A methods and class C methods. So that's what the hybrid inheritance is. Okay, so you have seen five types of inheritances: hybrid and hierarchical, multiple, multi-level, and single level. Okay, so this was the inheritance types of inheritances. Now let's see polymorphism. Okay, polymorphism means, poly means many, forms, many forms. One object can have many forms. Okay, uh, in polymorphism only we are having the uh, method overloading, method overriding, all that concepts are in the polymorphism. Okay, overloading and method overriding. Actually, method overriding is not available in Python. Instead of that, we are having a concept of variable length argument, right? So I hope you remember that variable length arguments can have any type of any length argument, or if you give many arguments also it will accept. Okay, that's the concept of method overload. Sorry, method overloading only it's not available. Method overriding it's available. Sorry. Okay, and then what polymorphism next is operator. Operator overloading. Overloading. Yeah, this type of them. These are the polymorphisms. Now we have seen the overriding. So overriding is nothing but two classes has the same method, then it will override one the function. Okay, override the name function. Okay, so that's why it is printing the good morning. When I say in this example, not this one, actually this one. Yeah, so when I say b comma a, it overrides the name of a and then putting the b function, print good morning. Okay, and if I say a comma b, then it will override this function name, so it will print in a, right? So that's the method overriding is actually. Now method overloading is not available, but we have a concept of variable length argument. So we have seen in the add function star a. So I will explain you method overloading is what is that. For example, if you have add if you define with two numbers, then it will work for only two numbers. What we need to do, I need to add these two numbers. In the same way, we can have multiple functions with different number of arguments, a comma b comma c. Then this function contains the line a plus b plus c. So this what the uh, method overloading is. Okay, so a same function has different types of arguments, sorry, parameters, that will be method overloading. But because it is not available in Python, so we have a variable length argument star a. So it will accept whatever values you are giving, it will accept the values. Okay, so you don't have to create multiple functions with different types of parameters. You can just use this star a and then accept all the arguments, and then you can do whatever you want. Okay, I want to sum all the numbers, right? And then I will call the function. Let's say I'm giving 10 20, it will work. It will add these two numbers. So it is adding these two numbers, right? Now if I give 30 40, four numbers I am giving, four numbers I give, this one also will accept in the variable length argument. Yeah, now the sum is 100, right? So so instead of method overloading, we have this concept, right? So now we'll see operator overloading. So let's say for example I'm having two objects, a equal 10 and b equal to 20. So if I add print a plus b, so this is an object, then how can I add these two objects? So this operator, it's calling a method inside the class, that is underscore underscore add underscore underscore. This method is called a magical method. Okay, so for every operator we have a method on the class actually. So now let's say it is an integer, right? So we are inside the integer class, you will have this method add. It will add these two values, 10 and 20. Okay, for example, if you subtracting it now, then it will call a method called underscore underscore sub underscore underscore. So now these are the magical methods, and this one also actually the constructor we have seen, right? Underscore underscore init, this function is called when you are creating a object, right? So now this one also a magical method. Okay, so using this you can overload the operators. Okay, you can give a different operation on the plus symbol. Okay, usually the plus symbol, it is used to add these two numbers. Okay, so now you can do whatever you want inside the add method. Okay, actually this operator will call the sorry, method, add method. Okay, now for example I'm creating a class, my own integer class. Okay, now this is a class, my own integer class. I'm defining a constructor, and now the first parameter should be self, and then it is accepting a value called I. Okay, now our value self dot value I will assign. In value I will assign the I value, I. Alright, so I have created a constructor. Now let's create an object. For example, a equal to, now integer of 10 I'm giving. So the same b variable, b object. Okay, so we are having two objects. Let's print a plus b, see what happens. Now we can see the error, type error, unsupported operand plus for integer class and integer class. So this class uh, doesn't have the operation for addition. So you need to define the class, sorry, function, sorry, you can say method, right? Underscore underscore add. If you define this method, of course it will call the method. If you it won't give you the error. Okay, so this function, this method takes two parameters. One is self and another one is other object. Other object is nothing but you're adding two numbers, right? That means you will have two objects. One is A and another one is B. That's what the self and other is. Okay. So now let's simply get past because uh, now if I run now, it won't give the error. It nothing. Yeah, it's giving me none because I don't have any statements here. Okay, but it is working actually. This plus operator is calling the function, this method, right? So now inside this we can return a value. What I will return, I will add these two values, the value of A and value of B. So we have we are having two objects, self and other. Okay, these two objects are the same object, integer. Okay, now I will call the value self dot value plus other dot value. Because these two objects are same, then inside the value variable only we're having the value of I 10 and 20, right? And then I will call this value self dot value and other dot value, like for example a value of A and value of B. I will add these two values, right? Then it will return me 30. That's why we are having the return statement here. So now it is returning 30, right? like like the same way for subtraction, A minus B. Okay, now I'm running, so it will give me the error, unsupported operand, subtracting. Now if I define the method in the class, it won't give me the error. It also take the same two parameters, because all the operators having the two objects, right? It's taking two operands and giving the result. So these two operands are self and other. Now it will return the subtracted value. Okay, now it won't give me the error, it will give me the result, the subtracted value, right? Minus 10, correct? Yeah. For that, for the same thing we having for all the operators, we're having the magical operators for that. Even the greater than, the less than, equal to, for these objects, for these operators also we having. For greater than, no, we are having underscore underscore gt, underscore underscore greater than. For less than we having lt, less than, this method. And for equal to we have underscore underscore eq, underscore underscore. Like this, for all operators we are having the magical methods there. Okay.
Just one small question.
Yes.
So actually in the like in the line 17, we're just telling print A plus B, but how will the Python know that this is add? So that is the means it will call add only, right? So we are overriding the method of add. That is-
Yeah.
Okay. So the method of add, okay, in the nine line it
Actually,
will
this operator will call the method
method
add,
add. Okay, okay.
but actually is defined for all the
Something else.
classes, but we are overriding the
Yeah,
class,
got it, got
overriding
it.
the method and returning a statement.
Okay, it will not call the original. It will call whatever we defined.
Yeah.
Okay, got
Actually, if you don't define this method also, it will have this method inside our class.
But
with
default.
the pass statement.
Okay, okay,
Okay. Now if you define that, it will call this method and it will run this statement. Okay, we are
okay,
overriding the method, right?
okay. Got it. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Thank
Okay, this was the magical methods for operator overloading, right? Now we'll see. Uh, I, I have said you before that we'll see the iterator, our customized iterator, right? So we have seen using the list 10, 20, 30, 40. Then what we done, we created an iterator using the iter function, iter of li. Then we call the next function, it will give me the next value. This- right? So the object we are using is list. So what if I create an object for our integer class, and if I call iterator, what will happen? It of iter of my class, my object a, right? And then if I call the next of it. Now see, it is giving me error, right? Integer object is not iterable. If I want to create this object to be iterable, I need to define a method that is underscore underscore iter. So this method is help for iteration purpose. Okay. So in this function, in this method, you need to return the object self. Okay. So this is how you will create the iter object. Now this line will not have the error. This line will have the error. Let's see what is the error is. Right. This line itself. Okay. Returned non-iterable of type integer. Okay. I think we need to define another object. Underscore underscore next. Now for just return one, and then we'll see it is working or not. Yeah, now it is working. So you have to define these two methods, iter and next. Now in this method, what we are going to do is we are having a number. The number is self dot value. Okay. Now if I call the next method, then if I call this function, right, next of it, then it will call this next method. Said that I'm having the number self dot value, and then I will return the number. Okay. And then I will increment inside that, increment the value plus equal to 1. Okay. Now if we call next of it, then it will return 1. Like the same way, if we call another time, it will return uh, not 2 actually, it will return me the incremented of this value 10. So first will it will return me 10, and then it will increment 1 and then 11, like that it will goes on infinitely. So 10 and 11. If I call one more time, it will return me 12, right? Because it's an infinite iterator. You can call uh, multiple times actually. If I do for the for loop, then it will work for infinitely. For example, for I in a, because now a object our integer object is become a iterable object because of these two methods, iter and next. Okay, now if I print I, then it will work for infinitely 10, 20, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, like that it will goes on infinitely. Okay. Hmm. So this how you can create a iterable class. Now let's see some example. uh, I'm going to create an even list. Okay, an even list I'm going to create. Any doubts you have? Just, uh, okay, so I'm going to create a event list class. So of course this will contain only even values of the list. If you pass odd values also, it will not accept. So even list accept multiple values. Okay, right? So I will create as a variable length argument. Okay, now this variable length argument contains all the arguments passed for the event list. Now this will, I will using this, I will create a let's say the name will be uh, li itself. Okay, li itself. Now I'm going to create a list of this passed arguments. Okay, and in the same way I'm going to extract only the, or you can say filter only the even values, right? On the passed arguments we need to filter only the even numbers. So to do that, it will simply, you can say filter. Yes, we have seen the filter function, right? And we need to create a lambda function, and this lambda function will take a parameter called x, and it will determine whether this even number or not. For determining even number or odd number, we having this expression x percentile by 2 equal to 0, right? And then we'll pass the values, the passed arguments, or you can say args. The common name will say args, arguments actually. Okay, now we are end up with an even list, even li. Okay, now let's create an object obj1 even list. I'm calling, I'm passing some values 10, 23, 45, 66, 99, and 34, 34, 20, 30, like that. Now it will give me only even numbers. Let's see if I print obj1, right? So if you create an object for str s equal to something here. Okay, if you print the value, print s, then what will happen? Of course it will print the values, right? Now I'm printing my own object, then see what happening. Okay, let's see what happens. Oh, sorry. I just need to comment these two lines. Okay, now let's see. If I print the str, then it is printing the value of the str. Then I print the object one. It's not printing the values which I passed in the event list. It's just printing main underscore event list object at some numbers, right? Why it is? Actually, in the string class, we having a method. It's a magical method also. That's called underscore str. This method will call when you print the object. When you are trying to print the object, this method will be called str, right? Okay. Now this function takes the parameter self, and now This function is going to print the values. How? It will return the values, right? And I'm going to join, and this join we are having a map. Because this is the numbers, I need to convert that to string, right? So map to sorry, map to str the numbers evenly alike. Now let's see, I'm printing my object, then it will print me these values, only the even values, not the odd values. Okay, it's printing only even values. Just put a space there. Okay, to separate with the space. See, even values are there now, 10, 66. So we have passed some odd numbers, that is ignoring the odd numbers because we are filtering the even numbers only. Okay, uh, let's say for example, uh, like this function we are having another function also, the same concept, that is represent the object. This function also is the same concept only. Okay, that's how it is. Okay, so this is the our event list, and then you can put some operations using the operators overloading, which I have told you the operators using the magical methods. If you google it now, the magical methods, you will see bunch of methods for every operators, every symbols we are having a magical method. Okay, so now you will think all the operations of Python as a object oriented. Okay, now initially we saw adding two values will be a plus b, then it will add the values. But inside the class, what it is doing, it is having a method called a, and then it is adding the value, right? So this how now we are end up with. Okay, so we'll end up this class with this. Any doubts you have, you can ask. Any doubts? Any doubts you have? We'll end up this session.
Hi, Irfan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I have a question. So you passed a two value to add, right? So can we pass three value like a comma b comma c? Whether it's same, it take the same parameter or it need add a
No, these operators will only take two parameters. Okay, a and b. If you have a plus b plus c, then what happens? It will calculate the value of a plus b first, and then it will pass this value, the result, and then it will add that to c value. Okay, let's say for example I'm creating an object c integer, or integer, right, 30. So now a plus b plus c will be 10 plus 20 plus 30. Oh, wait, unsupported operand for plus int and integer. Sorry. Okay, it's because of we need to convert this to this also an object, the same object. Okay, because if you add this to value, it will become an object for int, not our integer class. So we need to convert this to integer class, then it will work. Now we'll see. Now see, the result is coming, right? uh, it is printing like this. So what you can do is you can represent create a represent class and then print the value. Then it will not show this method, it will show the value. Okay, for example str.
The one that 2 minutes.
Now instead of the object, it will show me, now it will show me the value. Okay, see 60, right? Correct. 10 plus 20 plus 30, that is 60. So that's how a plus b plus c works. First it will add these two numbers and then the result will be added to the c. Okay, only the addition operator takes two parameters only. Okay, self and another object. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Any doubts other? Okay, I hope no doubts. Then we'll end up this session. So we are bigdatahandson.com, our website bigdatahandson.com. You can visit our website. If you have any doubts, you can message us in the number 978-988-424, and you can email through this number support@bigdatahandson.com. All the videos will be uploaded in our YouTube channel bigdatahandson.com. You can subscribe to our channel, then you will get uh, all the updates. Okay, so let's see tomorrow. Tomorrow maybe the modules. Okay, so we have more two classes, modules and numpy matplotlib cbon, these two classes. Okay, and after these two class we'll start with machine learning. Okay, so let's see tomorrow. Thank you.